do it. Hi, everybody. This is Susan, South Florida Realtor. Today, we're so lucky to have Uni with us. Uni is the owner of Lux Interiors. Today, she's going to share with us some tips about Airbnb because she has so much experience about Airbnb. With her help, it's going to make a lot of things way easier. So, hi, Uni.
Hi, Susan. How are you?
Good, good. So there are two topics we would like to go over today. Let's start with what are the things to keep in mind before you start doing the Airbnb business?
There are actually quite some things to keep in mind, but there are fundamentals, and I feel like the first things actually are to put yourself in the position of that person that's renting their Airbnb.
Right.
For example, what are those key elements or key things that you like to see when you go on vacation that you like to have in your hotel room? Correct.
Good point. Yes.
Usually people start renting an Airbnb and they forget that some families might be traveling with their kids, for example, or that some families might not just have the time to go out to a restaurant to have breakfast in the morning, but rather they want to grab a cup of coffee in the kitchen before going out. So those are little things that we always have to keep in mind, and is having a fully equipped kitchen, having at least something to get your guests started throughout the day, rather than expecting them to go out and buy breakfast on a daily basis. Another thing that's important for Airbnb, extremely important these days, is to have a small dedicated space where people can do either work or can connect their laptops, because you know how busy we all are these days, and the fact that we're on vacation doesn't really mean that we're not working. So
Exactly.
it's very important that while you're on vacation, you nevertheless can sit down somewhere quickly, check your emails, and that you have fully access to internet, Wi-Fi, whatever that might be.
So if you, before you walk into the Airbnb, if you start doing the Airbnb, you might want to know who are your target guests that are going to stay in the Airbnb. For example, if we are in the Miami Beach, then the theme may be a family, maybe a couple, maybe a young age. Who are your target guests, right? And if you are in the Western area, you are in Cooper City area, then those kind of areas for Airbnb maybe is for the family. You need to have the environment more like for family. So those are things you want to be prepared before you talk to your interior designer. That's in this case, talk to Uni, then let her know that what are the things that might be important. What are the target guests you are focusing? And I think I really like the point that you are talking about, that have a dedicated working area. And I see there are some Airbnb, because we travel, we always stay in Airbnb as well. I see there's a very good perspective. The good design is that they have a dedicated area for ping pong table.
Exactly. Something
For the
to
different
entertain.
family. Yeah.
Most families, if they are a family, they are going to have kids, and then kids need to be entertained. You need to be able to bring them from the beach or whatever is it that you went, and have them burn some more calories and energy in that Airbnb. So make sure you have some Airbnbs. Actually, if it's a house, I've done before where we convert the garage into a full-on main cave, what we call it. So it has games, it has a cinema in there, it has some different pool tables and all these kind of things that can entertain people. That's very important. Key element is to have your kitchen fully functional. It doesn't mean that the person that's going to rent out from you is necessarily going to cook, but you want to make sure that in case that person would do so, the kitchen is fully equipped. And that is the main thing that I see a lot of clients making mistakes on is for example, they have a house that is going to be turned into an Airbnb, and then they put a queen bed into every single room. Don't do that. Use your space. If you have more than one room, you can use a queen bed in one, but you can use a bunk bed on the other one, because what that's going to give you is going to give you more sleeping capacity, but it's also going to free up some of the space for the room, especially if the room is not too big. Rather than going with a full queen, you go with a bunk bed. It's important to have a sitting area. And I'm not talking about the living area, but I'm talking about a separate area where if somebody's watching TV in the living, somebody else can retreat themselves and go have a glass of wine in a separate area of the house. That is very important. Your outdoors is gonna change or break your game. If your pool area is not looking nice, important is that you get a little bit of a refresh before you put your Airbnb out there. Because remember, you're gonna be competing with many different other Airbnbs out there. So the pictures are a key element here. And at the end of the day, everybody comes to South Florida because of the weather, right?
Right, yeah.
Even if we have the beach close by, that doesn't mean that that family is going to be constantly going to the beach. It might be that one day they say, we just want to hang out here in the backyard and use the pool. And for that reason, your pool area needs to be top notch. And also important it is, even if it's a dining table. Not only for the purpose of dining, but for the purpose of that family doing night games or something like that. It's very important one.
So thank you so much, Uni. I think you provided so many good tips for people who wants to, a lot of people wants to do Airbnb, but they don't know how to start,
Yeah.
There's so many people, because you see the Airbnb, the short-term rental, mid-term rental, you actually can make much more profit than the long-term rental. But in order to start, you got to have some information, some knowledge to have in mind before you start doing that. And you guys definitely want to check out Uni's Instagram and the social media. You will feel, wow, this woman, this is amazing. Wow, right? So here below is going to be Uni's contact information. Please check it out and give her a call. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye,
Bye-bye.
Susan.